Welcome to Dodgers Daily. Casey Porter here. So glad that you decided to tune in. Fans, today we have a very special guest, World Series champion, Michael Kopech. First of all, let me bring you in. Michael, thank you so much. How does that sound? Does it ever get old hearing the term World Series champion?
No, it doesn't. I'm sure at some point it'll feel like old news, but as of right now, it's definitely the best accolade I could have wished for in my career. So to be a part of a special team like that it's really cool.
So I got to say, I mean, White Sox, it's a wonderful organization. They're going through a down period right now. It won't last forever.
Right.
But they weren't very good whenever you got traded last year. You come in right into a pennant race, a World Series championship team. I mean, What's the emotions like as far as that goes?
It almost feels like new life, like a second chance almost, because I mean the way things were there, it's not like anybody wanted to struggle, but just like winning's contagious, losing can be too. And once you kind of start down that path, it's hard to kind of bring yourself out of it, And a lot of these guys, or to a lot of these guys' credit, there were guys that had a lot of success on a poor team. Crochet's one of them, and now he's at the top of the league, and everything he's doing, he's been incredibly impressive. For me, I was having a tough time thriving in that environment, and again, like you said, nothing on the organization about that. It's almost just like kind of lighting a match and keeping that thing lit as long as possible. And it was starting to get dim for me because I'd had some personal negative impacts in my career, and some team wise we had struggled a good bit too. So going from there to a team that was immediately in something important, they were already in a pennant race, and then to be a part of that, and then to kind of just ride the wave of momentum that the whole team was carrying into the postseason was really special. So it felt like a rush of energy that for me just was never running out.
Yeah, absolutely. So kind of a whirlwind. You go from the White Sox to the Dodgers. That's an incredible shot of adrenaline.
Yeah. You
win the World Series, and then you start 2025. You're all excited about that. Then you have the right knee inflammation. Now we're just kind of back down to losing that adrenaline. So kind of talk about that swing of emotions.
Well, I mean, the main thing is like the desire to be on the field with those guys again is never fading, especially when you've gone through what we've gone through. We've seen a lot of guys get injured this year, but everybody still wants the same goal.
Sure.
And so very urgent to get back, I'll say that. But it takes a hit to not be able to be there with the team, to not be able to take part in the important games that are going on, but also just having faith that those guys are going to be able to do what everyone already expects them to do, and to come in and take part of that when the time's right. Yeah.
So the right knee, talk about the rehab, the injury, and then where we're at right now.
Yeah, so a few years ago I had a complete meniscus tear, had to do a repair. Was on crutches for a good bit of time. It never quite felt right, so about a year after that, had a Baker cyst removal, had Baker cyst taken out of the back of my knee.
Oh, really?
That was, it was causing a good bit of discomfort. Kind of got back on the right track then, but once it came out, there was just a little bit of instability in my knee that I was trying to get used to, and I was working through that. So I was doing a lot of strenuous stuff on my knee, trying to find some stability, and it held up for a while, and it was doing great. And then, randomly, I had a little bit of discomfort in there, and tried continuing through it. A couple days go by, and it got worse and worse at a pretty rapid rate. So we just decided to get it scanned, saw that there was another meniscus tear, tried to do an injection just to see if that would help. And it actually felt more uncomfortable after the injection. And
really?
And it wasn't about the pain, it was the anatomy of the knee. The tear had kind of fallen down, and talking like the doctor was talking to me right now, but the tear had kind of fallen down into a gutter, so my knee kept locking up on me.
Oh.
It was just making it hard for me to actually do what I needed to do. So anyway, long story short, got a meniscectomy, got it cleaned up, and the recovery rate was moving pretty quick. And so now I'm just trying to get some game action under my belt so I can be back with the guys.
Yeah, so the first rehab outing, you've been here for how many outings now? 4 outings? I think something like that.
Maybe 5.
Maybe 5, yeah.
Like
so your first outing went kind of sideways. We didn't throw strikes in that outing.
Right.
So from that point on, we've gotten a little bit better each and every time out. So talk about the ramp up.
I think part of it is just getting used to game action in general. Like I can, and I've done this. I've sat down and I've overanalyzed my mechanics, and I've overanalyzed, what external cues I'm doing and all this. But what it really comes down to is like competing at a high level with a good amount of confidence to feel like you're healthy enough, strong enough, in a good enough position.
Has confidence ever been an issue with you?
I'd say confidence is an issue that every player goes through, whether they verbalize it or not. So like we come out here, and the thing is like, all right, we need to know that we're the best one on the field at all times, and if that's a lie, we would rather err on the side of caution of living with that lie than we would of being like, I'm not very good right now, because nobody can perform in that state of mind. It's just like getting those reps under your belt, and seeing yourself have success against like whatever level we're at. We're in professional baseball; these are talented hitters, So seeing yourself have success against athletes that have an approach, and then a couple of those build up, and next thing you know, you're back to pitching your game instead of pitching to somebody.
Yeah. So it's a Wednesday night, in a minor league setting, and there's like maybe 1,500 people there, and you can hear the concession stand people up on the concourse. And you've been in the World Series less than a year ago, so how do you just kind of get some adrenaline to get yourself going in a minor league setting?
It's not going to match, and I know that going into it. But the beautiful thing about really loving this game, and I think most people can attest to this, is like you can get up for a scrimmage, if you're competing and you like to compete, you can get up and go for, the smallest of games, however you want to, put that. But, it's obviously not going to match the same level of adrenaline or intensity that I'm going to see in Dodger Stadium or in a postseason environment, but it's still valuable to have a game on the line and have to pitch in that situation, and come in and have to compete with guys that care to compete as well.
So the mix right now, the big fastball, can you kind of, any changes to it? Can you kind of take us through what you're throwing right now?
No, fastball's kind of the same boat. The velo's maybe a tick down. I think that'll come back with more repetition as I get back to competing. Like I said, cutters become a much better pitch for me. I'm throwing it a little bit harder. I'm throwing it more consistently. And then
is that a steal a strike pitch for you, maybe?
Maybe it's actually been more of a swing and miss pitch than I expected it to be, because guys gear up for my heater so much that if anything that's off of it just plays to my advantage. So it's got a lot more, maybe not always swing and miss, but it's got a lot more missed barrels than I expected it to have. And then now I'm throwing a splitter, which is pretty new. It's been fun to throw, figuring it out.
Split change or split fastball?
Split fastball. So I'm throwing it around the same velocity as my cutter.
Nice.
It's an interesting pitch because it's unlike feel of any other pitch, but it's been a lot of fun to throw.
Okay, so the urgency, the Dodgers are trying to be the first repeat in the last 25 years. They're coming down the stretch. Does that affect your urgency in the rehab, or is it just, hey, we have to do this one day at a time?
To be honest, like my urgency is there as much as I can be. Like I would like to be able to go and compete at the big league level tonight. The thing is, like we're in a push. We're at the top of the race right now, but at the same time, like we have to make sure that the changes that are made up there are the changes that are best for the team. And
absolutely.
I would like to think that I fit into that picture as soon as possible, but got a lot of good arms doing good things right now, and when things are rolling well, it's hard to make a change and be confident about it. So, you know, as soon as they're ready for me, I'm ready to be there, but as of right now, I'm happy to see the guys having success and getting us in that position.
Most important question of the day, is it Kopech or is it Kopech?
Kopech.
Kopech, okay,
Yeah.
Fantastic. I know how to pronounce your name.
It's funny that you say that, because I was telling my wife that somebody called me Kopech the other day. She's like, I've never heard anyone say that. I was like, I get that a lot. You know?
Yeah, I even hear announcers say it differently from one inning to the next.
Yeah.
Michael Kopech, correct?
Yes, sir.
Thank you so much for joining Dodgers 81.
I appreciate it. Thanks for having me.